Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Friday, January 20th, 2023. Here's what's happening today in America. Latest on the Supreme Court leak. Debt ceiling has been hit. Alec Baldwin charged. And a rock and roll legend has passed away. And of course, Bill will be back with the message of the day. But first, do you remember before the Supreme Court released their final decision on overturning Roe v. Wade, the draft decision was leaked to the press? Justice Alito later said of this leak that it made the majority in support of overruling Roe targets for assassination because it gave people a rational reason to think that they could prevent that from happening by killing one of us. Well, the Supreme Court finally finished their investigation to find out who leaked the draft and hold them accountable to criminal charges. And the final conclusion from the Supreme Court is, we don't know. Beats us. So whoever did it, they got away with it. We've hit the debt ceiling, $31.4 trillion in debt. So the Treasury Department is using what they call extraordinary measures to buy 5 more months of time. The White House refuses to negotiate, which means they want it raised again. And the Republicans always cave. You're going to hear a lot more about this topic, obviously. Know that cutting spending is an option. The Democratic senator from West Virginia, Joe Manchin, who's up for re-election, by the way, in 2024 in a state that Trump won 68-30, but he's a Democrat. He said, we should agree to raise the debt ceiling as long as we agree to identify the debt we have and how we start reducing it. No, Joe, you reduce the debt now, then you can talk about raising the debt ceiling. But the amazing thing is, if you start reducing the debt now, then you won't need to raise the debt ceiling. Alec Baldwin, charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. You remember on the set of his movie Rust, he discharged a revolver, killed a 42-year-old cinematographer. His lawyer says Mr. Baldwin had no reason to believe that there was a live bullet in the gun or anywhere on the movie set. He relied on the professionals with whom he worked, who assured him that the gun did not have live rounds. We will fight these charges, and we will win. This charge in New Mexico is punishable up to 18 months in prison, but when committed with a firearm, could bump it up to 5 years in prison. The co-founder of Crosby, Stills, and Nash, David Crosby, has passed away at the age of 81. He was asked 8 months ago if he's done performing live. He said, I'm too old to do it. I'm 80 years old. I'm going to die fairly soon. That's how that works. One of his final tweets said about heaven, I heard the place is overrated. Cloudy. Bill will be back with the message of the day next.
Inflation at its highest level in 40 years and interest rates are skyrocketing, as you know. Market experts like Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, predicting recession. So to protect your future, do what I did. Call the only precious metal dealers I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. You can get started with a short phone call. They will place physical gold and silver right at your door or inside your IRA or 401k. Please tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Don't wait. You can call them now, 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, 877-444-GOLD or text GOLD to 65532. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. I am thinking about a case in San Francisco where a business owner, 71-year-old Collier Gwynn, used a hose to wet down a homeless woman who had camped out in front of his gallery. Now, you may have seen a video. 13 million people have viewed it on Twitter. What Mr. Gwynn did was cruel. This is obviously a woman who is defenseless and troubled. Well, he has been arrested, as I predicted he would be, charged with battery. He's got $2,500 bail. He made it. He's out. And he faces 6 months in prison and a $2,000 fine if found guilty. I believe he'll plea it down and won't serve any time, but he'll have to pay a fine. Now, Some sympathize with Collier Gwynn because the homeless have overrun downtown San Francisco. They use narcotics openly. They go to the bathroom in front of businesses on the sidewalks. It's gross. It's horrible. And San Francisco authorities ignore it. And this has been going on for years, so a business person like Collier Gwynn probably reached his limit. But you can't do vigilanteism, particularly on a defenseless woman like this. Now, if it was reversed and the homeless attacked Gwynn, nothing would happen. That's true. But we have to do what's right. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. If you'd like more honest news analysis, please visit BillO'Reilly.com. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com. Okay, let's go to the mail. Gus Dean, Huntington, New York. Why was Obama storing top secret documents in Biden's garage? Obama? Gus, is this on a website someplace that Obama is involved with this Biden document thing? Please let me know what website that is. Obama had anything to do with this. Christopher Sylvania, Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Bill, can you do a segment on systematic racism and the growing threat of white supremacy, because I don't see it? It's there. Stormfront and those organizations, they're white supremacists, neo-Nazis. It's there on the internet. You can find it. I don't know why you would look for it, but it's not anything that is growing. I assume the FBI has infiltrated all of these groups. They don't really surface very much, but it's there. Jerry DeVore, Honolulu. Seems odd whenever there's a Democratic president, congressional Republicans threaten to shut down a government, but whenever a Republican president, they're willing to spend like drunken sailors. Okay, Jerry, there is some truth to what you are saying. Under Trump, the spending was massive. Okay, first on rebuilding the military, and then COVID kicked in. And we, taxpayers, had to pay for all of those vaccines. Massive spending. Biden's worse. Biden's spending far more than Trump and will never stop. Trump didn't really care about the budget and the deficit very much. He wanted results. And he got them. He got the vaccine up and running fast. We had to pay plenty for that. But you're right in the sense that neither political party is disciplined. In a moment, something you might not know.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-925-7584 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-925-7584. That's 800-925-7584. What do you have to lose? Call 800-925-7584. Again, 800-925-7584.
Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 78 years ago today, Franklin Delano Roosevelt was inaugurated for the fourth time. It would mark the final months of World War II, the start of mandated presidential term limits, and the end of his life. Here is the story. In 1940, Roosevelt broke tradition dating all the way back to George Washington. He would run for an unprecedented third term. Despite the objections from some lawmakers, there was no constitutional barrier in FDR's way. He easily defeated Wendell Willkie in the election. The next 4 years were brutal for Roosevelt as the exhausted president led the global fight against fascism. Ignoring doctor's orders and pleas from his family, he decided to run again in 1944. He easily defeated Republican Thomas Dewey in that race. On January 20th, 1945, a frail Roosevelt was sworn in for the fourth time. His declining health was largely concealed from the public. He suffered from partial paralysis, lung problems, heart disease. He often smoked 50 cigarettes a day. On April 12, 1945, Roosevelt was in Georgia when he began complaining about a headache. He slumped over in his chair and died from a massive stroke at the age of 63, although he looked a lot older than that. As the nation mourned, politicians worked to formalize George Washington's historical precedent and prevent future presidential dynasties. In 1951, the government ratified the 22nd Amendment, barring any individual from serving more than 2 terms in the White House. And here's something else you might not know. To this day, FDR remains one of the most popular presidents in history. In 2016, Gallup asked Americans which chief executive should be added to Mount Rushmore. Roosevelt was the top pick with 30%, followed by John F. Kennedy, 21%, Ronald Reagan, 19%, and Barack Obama, 8%. FDR is one of our greatest presidents because he had to deal with the Great Depression and World War II. Back after this. Peace of mind and staying on budget feels pretty good right now, does it not? But if there's one thing you can expect this year, it is the unexpected. That's why American Home Shield exists. American Home Shield members get more coverage options, fewer exclusions. As a member, you know your budget, your time, your sanity are covered. Choose from 3 great plans to help cover the cost to repair or replace parts of major home systems and appliances, no matter what their age. And keep your budget goals in check for 23. Their plans help protect parts of up to 23 essential home systems and appliances. So keep your home up and running and your budget on track with American Home Shield. Right now, you can take $50 off their most comprehensive plans. Please go to ahs.com/bill to save $50. That's ahs.com/bill, $50 off. American Home Shield, be sure with the Shield. Service fees, limitations, and exclusions apply. See plan for details. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.